Since this is office hours, I think we can just take questions. Michael, yes, please start us off.
Yeah, so I guess just a minor thing. We did note that I think one of the sample signals that was provided, the example
Yeah.
signals,
Mhm.
it mentioned that the symbol rates would be anywhere in the interval of 100 to 500, but it
Yeah,
looks like the sample rate is actually 70 kilohertz. Is that intentional?
yeah, that's just because of the ambiguity in what symbol rate means for MSK and GMSK.
Okay.
Yeah, because when you look at MSK as a staggered signal, like a staggered QPSK signal,
Yeah.
um, we typically would think it has a symbol rate, but if you generate it or look at it as a FSK signal, then it's a bit rate. So there's a factor of 2 there. So
Okay.
it is intentional. But so you should be able to analyze that signal and come up with some kind of rate estimate, and that should match the string embedded in the file name, modulo 2, depending on how you're actually defining rate. So unfortunately, this complication always comes up with staggered signals. Is what are we talking about in terms of a rate? Because they can be generated. A lot of them can be generated 2 different ways. And
Okay.
yeah. Okay. Cool.
Thank you.
Sure.
Jeremy has a question, but he can't speak, is what I'm hearing. I don't know if he can speak, but he typed in his question. Can you
Oh.
see that in the chat?
Let me take a look.
Yeah.
Under 4.1, are there 2 types of signals? Captured LTE, which is described in A, and generic OFDM, which is described in B through E. Yes, that is the intention. There should be a 5 megahertz LTE signal included. And then, but most of the signals are those generic OFDMs that we simulate with those detailed parameters in the participant guide. Is there something missing? And I'm staring at the chat, so feel free to just type in there. Okay. There it is. What are the meanings in the file names? Okay. I am at home now, and I'm not on my network that allows me to access that stuff. I can answer that later when I make sure to review those file names. Unfortunately, I am normally in my office and have access to all this stuff, but today I have to retreat to my house because of a large-scale event in the area.
Chad, you can answer this in the Q&A so everybody can see it.
Yeah, why don't I answer it in the NSIN Q&A?
In the forum,
Okay.
you basically.
Yeah, I've never initiated anything there, but I think I can. Right, Joy? Like, I can just pretend I'm asking a question as a way of reaching out to everybody.
I believe so.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. It doesn't have to be a question, right? People are asking that isn't a question form. You're just posting something.
I'm just going to post something.
Jeremy said he can post a question.
Okay.
Jeremy, you're gonna win the prize for the most questions at this rate.
Yeah.
I don't know if we have a prize for that,
We should. Yeah, that'd be great, Jeremy. Thank you. And and I can't remember the exact strings and stuff, but some of the parameters like the CP are encoded, I believe, in the file names for the OFDM signals. I think at least in one case, there's multiple CPs that are allowed. Thank you, Jeremy. See, Michael had trouble with audio last week. Now Jeremy is having trouble. I wonder if that's a Google thing. Anyway, any other hands up, Vasu?
I didn't. Go ahead. Apurva has something. Apurva
Ah,
finally
cool.
is saying something. All right.
Oh, no. Well, yes, just one question, just from the programmatic perspective. Is it possible to have like some sort of a document that has got all the dates when we are supposed to deliver all our results and everything? Is it like, are we still on the same schedule, or has something changed, or that's what I was going to ask.
Cool.
Apurva, I posted an updated, slides deck. I don't know if it's you guys
Sure.
had access to it.
It is in the box.
Yeah, it's in the box. Last week,
Okay.
someone was asking these questions because there are, the NSIN schedule is different than what we had. There are 2-3 schedules going on.
Okay.
So the one I had for the kickoff meeting is kind of the latest. At least it gives you a date till the third round of challenge competition. After the training is over, then the challenge competitions are, first round of challenge competition is done. At least till then, we are good. The only thing we are going to add, it's not there yet, was we forgot to include after the third round where the challenge competition is, we would like to downgrade to up to 5 finalists. We didn't really give anybody time to tweak their algorithms. After you do these things, people wants probably a couple of weeks or something to kind of fine tune their algorithms or maybe go through some internal training. We didn't really forgot to allow that. So I thought it'll be nice to allow few weeks after the challenge competition for the final fives. So that will push us from December 16th finals to maybe to January 2nd week or something. That's not in there. Okay.
Okay.
Other than that, it's pretty good.
All right.
All right.
Sounds great. Thank you so much.
Yep.
Right. So I think the power or the PDF of the PowerPoint, it's called RFSSC Kickoff V2.pdf, and that's in the round 2 folder, Verba, of the RFSSC rounds 2 to 4 files for participants. So I think everyone's got access to that.
So I'm hoping everybody here accessed all the files, did something with it. Is anybody here who hasn't done that? I know you're not going to raise your hand, but I'm really hoping because the next few weeks is going to go very fast. And what we really want you guys to do is at least go through a couple of exemplars. If you go through all the exemplars, which will be awesome, actually, tell the truth, at least go through a couple of exemplars and turn in the scores to us, so that, because turning in the scores is very important, because you'll not get another chance to mess up and fix how to turn in the scores, right? So you turn in the scores, we give back, then we both sides have a good handshake, like, okay, whatever you're turning in is what we want. Okay. At least go through a couple of those exemplars, whether you fully get it right or wrong, that's not the issue here, but
So we've posted exemplar scene 1, and the intention is to post exemplar scene 2 on Monday. That's the cadence. And so if you wanted to keep up with that cadence, you would try to post your ability to transmit and spectral occupancy matrices to the submission folder this weekend sometime. But it's not mandatory, it's just try to keep up if you can. So we have Michael again, Salkowski.
Yeah, just so I got that right. I like this idea. So we can turn in the matrices for the exemplars,
Mhm.
and then you guys will give us the score back to
That's
make
right.
sure that we're doing everything correct.
Yep.
Okay, and we can do that at any point during
Yep.
phase 2.
Anytime. Yeah.
Cool. All right.
Anytime before we give you the real scenes, when we're in this training round 2 period. So you can wait if you want, or you can try to keep up with the cadence of posting.
Okay.
Probably better to keep up if you can, because the purpose of this is to shake out our errors too. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think what's really good, I know Jeremy has a question, but what's really going to help us is if as many as you guys turn in these things, if you're going through exemplars, how well you're doing, it's really going to help us to look at the scenes and kind of the difficulty. We might have to turn it down. So if you guys don't turn it in, we are just going to think everybody's going to do good, and give you the scenes we have currently, which might not be the best thing. So you all will help us to see what level crawl, walk, or run we should actually give. Because we
Yeah,
don't know where the community is right now.
it's like when you're teaching a class and you give a quiz on the first day, to level set. Students don't like it, but it's great for the teacher. Any other hands up?
Chad,
Jer-
Jeremy has a
Jeremy,
question. Yeah. Can you see the chat?
Yeah, let me read it out loud for everybody. Since some may be using ML approaches, yeah, that's guaranteed, and that might require having the data generation figured out, would it be fine to just turn in some answer file to understand the process? Yes, I think we were just saying that. Go ahead and turn in an answer file in the ability to transmit and spectral occupancy matrices. Without worrying, and he says, without worrying about performance, want our guess on score to match, but it does not need to be good. Yeah, I think that's exactly what Vasi's talking about right now. If you guys take these, let's call the exemplar scenes toy scenes. They're really just toy scenes, right? So you take those, you put them through your process, whatever that process is. You get your matrices, you give them to us, we score them, and maybe it doesn't work, right? Maybe the format's wrong, and so then we feed that back, and then you get the format right. And then also what you're saying, Jeremy, you think you did great, right? You think you're going to get a 0.99 or something, and you end up getting a 0.7. So we have to figure out how that happened. So that's exactly what we're trying to do with these toy scenes, these exemplar scenes.
And how will we send the our matrix? Like, is that through Box?
Yes, there's a separate folder called RFSSC participant uploads. And so you have access to three folders. You have the RFSSC rounds 2 through 4 files for participants. This is where I'm putting things for you. Then you have that participant uploads. That's where you put things. And then you have your own private folder where we'll give information back to you about like scores and stuff that no one else can see. So yeah, just go ahead and do it in the participant uploads.
Okay, perfect.
Hey, Chad, I know Jeremy has another question, but I want to add additional clarification to Apurva's. Maybe I need clarification here, right? So I thought that even when they upload the score, they're only going to upload in their private folder because others cannot see. And when we return the
Yeah, I thought we clarified all that, and that that participant uploads, they can write to it, but they can't read things that other people put there. They can't see.
Right. So if Apurva wants to send something, he will go to his folder and post something there. Then we read it and we post the results back to that. That's like a private channel between Apurva and us, right? That's why
Too
there's
bad yeah, too bad Megan's not here, but she doesn't want us to use the individual organization folders for them to upload their scores or their matrices.
okay.
Yeah, she doesn't want to have to gather those. So that's my recollection of it. So
when they upload it, can others see it then? If, like, let's say Apurva uploads his score, his test, can Jeremy see it? I'm picking on Jeremy because he's asking too many
I
questions.
asked this question and Megan said no.
Okay, all right, Apurva, you got that. I think she even sent some directions. We can.
But this is the like, so for example, there's a ICRFSC 810 Systems Inc. folder, right? That's where we are supposed to do it. We are supposed to upload this matrix there.
Okay, that's not my understanding.
Okay, so
maybe go back and read whatever Megan sent you.
Okay.
Yeah, But my understanding is participant uploads is where you would do that, and then you would get scores back or other private communications in the organization specific folder.
Okay.
But if I'll review all this, Megan's out, so she's kind of in charge, and she's also the architect of this. You know, Vasu and I didn't design this part.
Because
but-
I don't see any participant folder. That's the only thing, you know. I
Oh, you don't see.
Yeah, I see the private folder and I see the round truth folder. But
Okay.
I don't know if others can see it, but I don't see the participant folder.
All right, then maybe I'm wrong.
So
better
Apurva,
start-
you should see your folders, right?
Yeah, he says that. He says he sees that.
There's RFSSD and then the company name. Then there's
Mhm.
RFSSD and round 2 to 4 files for participants.
Right.
But I don't see. So within the participant, there's round 2 folder, but that's
Yep.
it. There's no participant folder.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah,
See, that's
if
what.
you look,
Go ahead.
sorry, if you look back through the presentation that was given at
Mhm.
kickoff, I think it's slide 10. There's a link embedded into that slide titled RFI inbox. It's on a bullet that says NSIN created an RFI inbox for all file submissions. And if you
Okay.
click that link, it'll take you to that. Maybe that link should be shared in the
Yeah.
in the public box across everybody, so it's more accessible, because I haven't found a way to get to the submission other than from that PowerPoint.
Okay. Good. The mysteries of Box.
I see that the way you guys submitted the white papers is the way you guys are. This needs to be submitted.
Well, that was through the NSIN site, right?
Yeah. I think she has something. We are not going to use that. That site is only used for Q&A. I hope, Joy, when does Megan come back?
Um, Well, we're hoping that she comes back by the end of next week, but I think that Angela will be back on Monday.
So submitting the scores, I think this question needs to be kind of. So for this kind of exercise, Apurva, in any folder, if you can submit something in your private folder, that'll be okay. If you have upload
Okay.
permission. See where
Okay.
you have upload permission. For this one, then we can fix that.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay. I think Jeremy had a question.
Okay. If a parameter is not specified in the description, does this mean that any theoretically possible value is allowed? For example, no time bandwidth product is given for primary GMSK. Does this mean that any time bandwidth product is allowed? Same for the length of the Gaussian function in terms of number of symbols. Yes, I think that's fair. But I can assure you that it's not going to be weird. It's going to be around 0.3. We're not going to try to trick you with some signal that nobody would ever transmit. Cool. So has anyone actually tried to start? Well, it's about the rates. He says, thanks. More asking about when we would classify GMSK as an urgent versus a GMSK as a SU. I'm adding the last part. And so that would have to be if there was a GMSK signal that you detected that didn't conform to any of the stated parameters for a GMSK in the PU and SU space. That makes sense? Okay. And has anybody actually tried to start simulating their own massive machine learning data set as a using the participant guide as a resource? Okay, Jeremy says he's getting there. because, you know, I only gave you a little bit of data compared to the amount of data that we know we need for machine learning. So that's got to be a part of it too.
But Chad, for each signal, you gave at least like 10 exemplars, like different looks of the signal, right?
Yeah, different chunks, independent chunks of data.
So
of the
let's say
signal.
somebody comes back and said, hey, can you give me more chunks? Will you be able to do that?
I'll
Or
be
how does it work?
I'll be quite resistant to that.
Okay, all
but
right.
but you're the boss, so
No, I'm just saying like everybody might have different, because one of the reasons we thought like, hey, we don't want to give the training data was everybody going to have different machine learning algorithms, different signal
Mhm.
processing. One data may not satisfy the other, so let's avoid that. Let them generate their own data, but we'll help them as much as possible, is what we decided. So what is that as much as possible is I'm not sure. Hopefully, you know, because sometimes you can give way too much and that's not, you don't want to do that. We'll cross the bridge when we get there.
yeah.
Okay. I think
Um,
Jeremy had another question.
yes. Did I not say that in the participant guide? So he said, I guess everybody's not reading this probably. He says, does the secondary frequency hop, so the SUFH signal, use transmit filtering, for example, raised root cosine? And the answer is yes. If you've looked at the power spectrum of that exemplar signal, you'll be able to tell that it's not a time limited pulse. Good. He says, that's what I thought from the look. Okay. So anything else? Anybody try to analyze the 1 second exemplar 1 scene yet? Let me click on participants here. Oh, Michael says yes. Okay, good. And then Jeremy says, I am done for now. I think he means he's done asking questions. Not that he's done with the challenge. I hope. All right, Braden, you have anything?
I think I'm good, Chad.
Okay, good. Thanks for being here.
I think Braden is waiting for the test results so he
The-
can score them,
The submissions, yeah.
the submissions.
Okay, so I'll go back to my email. Okay, so I confirmed with Megan a while back that participant uploads file is all organizations can write to it, and AFRL and NSIN can read and write, but no organization can read. So that was when we were discussing the purpose of that folder. So my understanding is that's where if you can access it through that link that, I don't know if that's Jim or who mentioned that.
Yeah, so
Then
it's not necessarily, it's not a file, it's like it gives you an upload section. It's more like a survey questionnaire. So it's an upload files, you can drag your files in, you can write your name in and your email address.
okay. All
But
right, we have an action to clarify the upload folder, which I thought I had already done with Megan, but like Vasu says, in the meantime, if you want to upload something, just upload it to your organization folder and we'll straighten out the intended NSIN structure, when we can. Okay. Because I don't want to slow you down. If you want to submit something, then you can at least do it that way and alert us through the Q&A or whatever channel you have, Megan's email, that you've done that.
yeah, it needs to be part of this whole box score. The box she has set up. I don't
Yeah.
think we want to go back to the NSIN site. That's not
Only to alert us. If,
right.
yeah.
Exactly.
If you want to make sure that we know that you've put something there and not rely on any of the box notification settings per folder being right and all that, you know, just tell us. So, cool. Do your best, participants, with this box situation, but I think it will smooth out soon. And we'll all be on the same page soon. Meanwhile, don't let that stop you from uploading something if you think you have a set of matrices for us to look at.